They heard me say it. I said that. If I was on there, I said that.
Turn around, please. You did not.
Shekinah, you stopped them, and I said the same. You asked me, do you think I'm happier? That you asked me the question, and I answered it. So why would you sit there and say that?
Because I am happy.
But why would you sit there and say that I ain't say that?
Because you did.
I think she's happy. Yes, I did.
It wasn't loud and clear.
Tammy.
Yeah?
Tell me what's going on out there. What's going on?
Atlanta becomes the epicenter of heartbreak and chaos as news breaks that Tiny, once half of hip-hop's royal couple, has filed for divorce from T.I. The city trembles under the weight of betrayal, scandal, and broken trust. The story begins at the courthouse, where Tiny, described as a fallen queen, walks past cameras clutching divorce papers like the death certificate of her love story. Her silence speaks louder than any headline. The internet erupts with hashtags like #TinyDivorce, #TI-Exposed, #Shekinah Pregnancy as fans grieve the end of a relationship once seen as unbreakable. Social media becomes a digital funeral for a love that had survived prison sentences, public humiliation, and countless rumors. Until now. The scandal deepens when an alleged audio recording surfaces of T.I. confessing, "Tiny will never forgive me if this gets out, but Shekinah's baby might really be mine." The bombshell shakes Atlanta's entertainment scene to its core. An anonymous nurse adds fuel to the fire by claiming she saw T.I. attending Shekinah's ultrasound appointments in disguise. Receipts, screenshots, and phone records flood the internet, transforming whispers into undeniable humiliation. The confrontation that follows between Tiny and Shekinah inside the courthouse becomes legend. Tiny, in tears, screams, "You were my sister and you slept with my husband." Shekinah, sobbing, insists that T.I. told her he was leaving Tiny. What was once gossip turns into open warfare, a sisterhood shattered in public view. Outside, paparazzi swarm, capturing every tremble in Tiny's hands, every tear that falls from her face. She steps from her black SUV with red divorce papers, symbols of a dynasty collapsing in real time. Fans cry out, mourning as though they themselves had been betrayed. Court filings confirm the worst, irreconcilable differences caused by public betrayal and a hidden pregnancy scandal. The words carve themselves into history. Hours before the filing, a viral photo captures Tiny alone in her car, makeup running, the divorce papers glowing red in her lap. The internet consumes the image, spreading it across TikTok and Instagram with millions of reactions: heartbreak, outrage, disbelief. The hashtags roar again. Then, the shocking twist: rumors that VH1 producers allegedly knew about the affair weeks before it leaked and timed the scandal for ratings. Insiders whisper that the entire collapse of Tiny and T.I.'s marriage might have been manipulated for television drama. Fans now feel doubly betrayed. First by infidelity, then by the idea that their heartbreak was scripted entertainment. But the deepest wound comes not from Tiny's husband or her best friend, but from her son, King Harris. In a chilling Instagram story, he allegedly writes, "Some fathers don't deserve families." The post vanishes within minutes, but screenshots spread like wildfire. Fans repost it with captions like, "Even his children know the truth, and this is the end of the Harris empire." The dynasty that once symbolized resilience now becomes a cautionary tale of fame, betrayal, and disillusionment. Tiny, now emotionally shattered, faces the world in a trembling press conference. Mascara streaks down her cheeks as she whispers into the microphone, "I gave him everything, my youth, my loyalty, my family, and in return, I got betrayal. I am walking away with my dignity, but my heart is shattered forever." The room falls silent. Even critics who once mocked her stand in stunned sympathy. The Queen of Atlanta has fallen, and her tears seal the end of an era. Yet the story refuses to end. All eyes turn to two crucial revelations: the DNA test and the divorce court showdown. If the DNA proves that Shekinah's unborn child belongs to T.I., the scandal will transcend personal heartbreak to become the most explosive collapse in hip-hop history. News networks frame it as the death of a dynasty. Bloggers compare it to the biggest betrayals in music history. Atlanta burns metaphorically as fans, journalists, and industry insiders debate whether this was simple infidelity or a scripted implosion engineered by media power brokers. Through cinematic imagery, Tiny's trembling hands, T.I.'s shadowed figure in hospital corridors, Shekinah's sobbing denials, and King's bitter outburst, the narrative portrays a family empire imploding under the pressure of fame, deceit, and manipulation. It captures not just the breakdown of a marriage, but the unraveling of loyalty, friendship, and legacy in front of millions. The divorce becomes more than a legal act. It's framed as annihilation, a final chapter written in humiliation and tears. By the end, Atlanta's skyline glows under the storm of flashing cameras and viral screens. The world watches as one of hip-hop's most iconic love stories burns to ashes. The Harris family's fall becomes a living parable of how fame devours the very people who build it, and how betrayal, once exposed, can turn even the mightiest dynasty into rubble. Atlanta descends into chaos as the Harris family scandal reaches its explosive climax. TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube overflow with conspiracy theories, DNA predictions, and late-night debates. What began as whispers of infidelity has now become a cultural earthquake. The trigger, an alleged DNA test scheduled under Shekinah's name, the father section blank. The test date, only days away, sends social media into hysteria. Headlines scream, "Science to decide the fate of the Harris legacy." Fans demand justice for Tiny, once the queen of Atlanta's hip-hop dynasty, now a symbol of betrayal and heartbreak. Then the internet erupts again. A secretly recorded video surfaces, grainy, shaky, allegedly filmed inside Shekinah's home. In it, she paces, crying on the phone. A deep, unmistakable male voice, T.I.'s, whispers, "Keep calm, we'll handle this together. The baby is ours, and I'll step up." Shekinah, sobbing, replies, "But Tiny will never forgive me. She'll hate me forever." Those lines detonate like dynamite. The internet freezes in collective disbelief. Is this confirmation of T.I.'s betrayal or an orchestrated trap? Within hours, millions weigh in. The hashtags #TI_exposed, #ShekinahBaby, and #TinyDeservesBetter trend worldwide. The fallout expands beyond gossip. Anonymous insiders accuse VH1 producers of exploiting the chaos for profit, of timing leaks to boost ratings for the couple's reality show. Fans are furious. This isn't entertainment, it's a human tragedy. The scandal now transcends personal drama. It becomes a televised dissection of loyalty, fame, and exploitation. Through it all, paparazzi capture Tiny's descent into heartbreak. One haunting image spreads like wildfire. Her standing by her mother's window, tissues scattered like gravestones. Headlines read, "This is what betrayal looks like." Reports claim she has stopped eating, whispering to her family, "I gave him everything, and he gave me nothing but pain." The world begins to see her not just as a celebrity, but as a wounded woman carrying the weight of humiliation. Meanwhile, her children become unwilling voices in the storm. King Harris goes live on Instagram, his voice trembling with rage. "I don't care if he's my father. Real men don't destroy families." His defiance turns viral, earning him support as the only honest voice in a house of lies. Tiny's daughter Zonique posts a cryptic tweet, "Loyalty doesn't live here anymore," igniting another wave of sympathy and outrage. Then comes another damning photo, T.I. allegedly sneaking into an Atlanta clinic at night for Shekinah's second ultrasound. His face half hidden under a hoodie, but unmistakably him. The internet declares him guilty beyond doubt. Shekinah, once celebrated as Tiny's loyal best friend, becomes a national villain. Paparazzi capture her crying outside her home while hashtags like #ShekinahSnake and #HomeWrecker of the Year trend globally. One viral comment sums it up, "She betrayed a queen for a man who was never hers." T.I.'s own social media becomes a war zone. His posts flood with fury. "Drop the DNA results, not another song." Fans reject his music, demanding accountability instead of apologies. The pressure builds until Tiny steps forward once more. In a tense press conference, her voice trembling yet fierce, she declares, "I'm done protecting him. I'm done hiding pain. Let the truth come out." Her words send shockwaves through the industry. It's no longer about gossip, it's war. She is ready to dismantle the facade that has protected her husband for years. But as cameras flash, darker rumors emerge, whispers of more secrets, more women, more betrayals waiting to surface. The public realizes this may only be the beginning. The story morphs into something far bigger than infidelity. It becomes an autopsy of a celebrity empire. Then comes the day the world has been waiting for, the DNA results. Atlanta transforms into a media battlefield. Crowds gather outside the courthouse. Reporters swarm the steps, fans chant, bloggers livestream the moment. Inside, tension crushes the air. Tiny sits beside her lawyers, shaking but unflinching. Shekinah weeps into her attorney's sleeve, once a sister, now an enemy. T.I. sits stone-faced, his empire crumbling in silence. The judge unfolds the document, the envelope that holds the truth. And with 6 words, the Harris legacy implodes. The probability of paternity, 99.9%. The courtroom erupts. Gasps, screams, and chaos fill the halls. Reporters race outside to broadcast history in real time. The headlines hit within seconds. T.I. confirmed father of Shekinah's child, Harris dynasty collapses. Social media implodes. Tiny's tears become emblems of betrayal. King's earlier words, "Real men don't destroy families," are replayed millions of times. The empire that once defined love, loyalty, and resilience lies in ashes. Fans weep, others rage, and some simply stare in disbelief. By nightfall, Atlanta feels like a city in mourning. Billboards that once celebrated the Harris name now represent scandal and shame. Bloggers call it the fall of hip-hop royalty. Analysts label it the most destructive celebrity scandal since Jay and Bay rumors. But this isn't just a headline, it's human devastation turned spectacle. In its final moments, the script transforms into tragedy. The Harris empire is gone. Trust obliterated, legacy destroyed, love reduced to ashes. Tiny, the once unbreakable queen, walks away with nothing but dignity and heartbreak. Shekinah fades into hiding, branded forever as the woman who betrayed her sister. T.I., once the king of the South, becomes a cautionary tale of ego, deceit, and downfall. The world watches the last frame, Tiny leaving the courthouse as flashbulbs explode around her. The crowd roars, the rain pours, and the caption burns across every screen. The DNA doesn't lie. The empire is over,